So today I'm actually gonna hold my mic because I think to get it on this dress in the right way, I would need probably 32 stylists and a SEAL team. And actually, after trying for 15 minutes, I gave up. So this is me giving up. Okay, let's talk about something important. So what I'm seeing a lot of, and I actually got a phone call yesterday from a gal who was so lovely, and she's terrified. She's terrified to buy a house. And it's interesting because the same week a gentleman said he was scared as well. And it's not actually buying the house they're afraid of, it's getting pre-approved. They're afraid of getting pre-approved. And I hit this a lot. So sometimes I'll hear from a realtor and they'll be like, oh, I really want them to talk to you, they're just scared. And I'm like, of what? Seriously guys, that's what we need to talk about. Of what? So I'm wearing my red power dress and I've got my mic close to my face. So today, let's play some rejection games. That's what people are afraid of, okay? They're afraid of being rejected. And first of all, if you want to work with a lender that's not going to be a total troll to you. So there are some lenders where you'll call and you'll be like, I'm a little bit embarrassed about my credit and I don't know. And they'll be like, oh, well then you shouldn't buy a house. Well, you know what guys, let me tell you, lenders that act like that, they don't do well in our industry because that's not what our industry is about. Our industry is about helping people get to the next level. I talk to, like I always tell realtors, because they're like, oh, I'm sorry he didn't qualify. And I'm like, no, send me everyone you have. Because as a lender, for me, it's a numbers game, right? I have to talk to, let's say 50 people to get 10 qualified. And of those 50 people, 10 are ready to go right now. 40, they just need a little bit of work. Just a little bit of work. So I tell them what to work on. And those 40 people, 20 of them might do it, 20 of them might do it, but the 20 of them that do it come back. And then we get to work together, which is great. So you shouldn't look at it as you're being rejected. The worst thing that's gonna happen is, like, if you talk to me, I'll say, hey, here's what I'm seeing. If you could do X, Y, and Z, that would be great. I have never said to someone, yeah, you're SOL. Never, because there's always a way. It's just sometimes you have to put in a little bit of work. And not talking to a lender because you're afraid, but then spending time with realtors or going on Zillow, spending any second of your life looking at houses online, if you haven't been pre-approved, if you don't know what your steps on, that's what you should be afraid of. You should be afraid of wasting your time because that's what it is. It's a total waste of time. So what is the pre-approval process like? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you what it's like with me because that's what I know, right? I do know what some other lenders do, but we'll cover what I do and then we'll cover like, okay, if you're dealing with a troll lender, what to do. So the first thing is I usually ask people to fill out my online application, which is at zerostressmortgage.com. And then that comes straight to me and my team. It takes us a couple days to review it, I'll be honest. Now, if you're like, I need to buy a house today, I found it, like, girl, help me out, I will do it. I will jump through rings of fire if you need it now. But if you're just starting or you're thinking, it's gonna take 2 days. So I'll be honest there. Now, if we get an application and there's no credit, because our system automatically pulls credit, which is pretty cool. And like for someone who's afraid of getting qualified, being able to pull your credit for free before you even talk to the lender, that's cool, right? Because if you're like, I don't know what my score is, go on my online app, type in your information. It pulls your credit instantly and it tells you your scores. You don't have to wait for me to tell you the score. It's not like some big old, deal or no deal with the briefcase, right? I'm not gonna open the briefcase. So do that. If your first fear is your credit, go on the online app, it will pull your credit score. We then take about 2 days to review it. We may ask for additional information. Generally, if you're like an hourly worker, or if there's something I see, or if I have a question, I always reach out and I say, hey, XYZ. Or, if it's not me, I have another Jen on my team. We actually have 3. We have 3 Jens, which is ridiculous, but we're all ladies of the 70s and 80s, so it was a really popular name. So either Jen or Samantha will reach out and they'll ask questions. The questions they're asking are usually questions I have asked them, which is like, hey, can you please find out from the borrower X, Y, and Z? And then once we have all that information, that's where I reach out. It's at that point, because then I can say, like, I want to have a coherent conversation with you. I don't want the conversation to be like confused. So I try to get as much information as possible so that in my mind, I have a game plan when we're talking, because that's important. If you're not ready right now, we need to be able to say to you, hey, look, why don't you work on this, this, and this? And then you're going to be in a good spot. Or you're ready right now. However, like, while you're shopping, why don't you do this, this, and this? Because it will put you here. That's my job, guys. That's what I do. Like, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I am passionate about education. I don't want people getting into houses over their head. You know, if someone's telling me, oh no, but I should qualify, you're wrong. I don't know, guys. I mean, I definitely can make mistakes, but usually this conversation happens if someone's trying to, let's say you make $3,000 a month and you want to buy a house where the payment's $3,000 a month. Not going to work. And I will say that, but I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm just going to say, well, you know, if you make $3,000 and the house payment's $3,000, how is that going to work? And I actually usually phrase it that way because you might say, oh, I didn't tell you about my husband, or oh, I didn't tell you I also get this, right? It opens up a door to a bigger conversation. So don't be afraid about rejection. And there's nothing scary about getting pre-approved. Okay, the only thing that's scary is if you deal with a lender that doesn't give you information. So if you're like, Jen, you're cool and all, but go online, look at your local lenders, see who has good Yelp reviews. Do not go by the company, go by the individual person. I work at a company where there's 2,000 originators. There's 2,000 loan originators. Are they all like me? No, there's some that I would say are better. I'm not going to give you their names, but there's some that are better and there's some that are worse, and it's all individual. And what might be someone's cup of tea, right? Like if you want it blunt, direct, transparent, I am your girl. But if you want someone who's going to sugarcoat everything and give you false dreams, do not call me. You know, and that's what you can tell from reviews, is you can tell from reviews how the individual originator treats their clients. And then based on that, you can go, oh yeah, this is cool, this is what I want. But if you're scared, what makes it less scary is information, okay? And if you're like, well, the lender's gonna judge me, I don't judge anyone. You know why? We've all had life, right? And if you're talking to a lender that's being like mean and judgy, okay, that's lame. But at the same point, if you're doing something where you're like, well, you know, I want to get the house and then not make the payments, okay, we're allowed to judge you for that. If you're like trying to be a straight up thief, we're going to judge you. If you're trying to commit mortgage fraud, we're going to judge you. If you don't realize you're trying to commit it and we tell you you're trying to commit it and you're cool with that, I'm going to judge you. But if you have bad credit or your income's not there yet, everyone's had life. It's not a big deal. No one's going to look down on you for that. You're not going to be treated because of that. We're lenders. We're not, you know, yeah, it's not like, it's something we see every day. I mean, if I told you how many credit scores that I've pulled under 500 in my career, you can't even faze me. It's hard to shake me with a credit report now because I have seen it all. And it's not scary. It's just life. Life happens, right? I've been divorced. I've had bad credit. I've been there, guys. I know what it's like. And you don't need to be afraid that a lender's going to be mean to you because of it. We see it every day. Life happens. So don't be afraid of getting pre-approved, okay? The worst thing that can happen is if you are talking to a horribly rude lender, okay, is they can say, yeah, this isn't going to work. I mean, that doesn't hurt that much. And that's a terrible lender. Like, most lenders are incredibly nice and caring and will give you more information than that. And if they don't, please call me. Tell me what lender treated you poorly, because I do a little segment called Lenders Behaving Badly. And I might start naming names once I figure out if that's legal. So I hope this has been helpful. Don't be afraid. You're just collecting knowledge. You're not committing to buying a house. You're not committing to getting a mortgage. You're just understanding what your options are. And options are important. Thanks for watching. I held it the whole time. Can you believe this? I mean, I need to get a new mic.